That is a great video. I love that one. Hey everybody, welcome back to KvltDeFi. This is the channel where we bring you the latest and greatest in innovations in tech in decentralized finance, more specifically on PulseChain, really, and even more specifically in the DevJacob ecosystem on PulseChain and on BNB, shall we say. Tonight is our regular Tuesday weekly update, and we do have some updates for you, which is very nice. We've been streaming quite a lot lately, so if you are watching this and you're maybe part of a replay gang and you don't really know what's going on, look at the channel, look at some of the streams. Last night, I streamed with Stu from Tetra Labs, and we spoke about Signum Oracle. Signum Oracle is the first decentralized Oracle on PulseChain. Very important for us, as we know in our project. And yeah, we had a good run through it. Thoroughly enjoyed speaking to Stu, and we'll probably speak to him again. If it's a thing that you want to know more about Signum Oracle, you can check out that video. In that video, we spoke about many things. We spoke about lots of other links you can look at. There are in the description, there are links to his Telegram, to the X profile, and you can basically just go and check it out and have a look. At the moment, I want to say we got some really juicy news tonight, right? Because obviously, Mafia, we know that the exchange phase goes live, right? We know it's part of even the exchange itself is part of it, like it's broken into a number of small different stages. But tonight, that is going live. So hopefully, it will actually go live while we're on stream. We'll keep checking. It's not live yet, but we keep checking as we go. First, I suppose, then, right, we spoke about Signum. So let's just have a quick look and just show you guys basically what you can do right now, as it stands right now, because it is in test, but the test is actually on mainnet, right? So you would literally just need to go here. So you would go to testfaucet.signum.run. And when you're there, what you can do, you can input your wallet address in this box. You can claim 75,000 of these Signum test tokens, right? So bear in mind they're test tokens. They're not worth any value at the moment. So don't be going buying anything on liquidity pools or DEXs or anything like that. Don't be silly. Okay. Yeah. So literally, you insert your wallet, you get airdrop these tokens, and then you can go about setting up to be a reporter, right? Actually, I can see here now the number of claims. Yesterday, it was in the low 90s, I think, and it's up to 102. So you never know. Maybe some of you guys that were on stream last night with us decide to go and test it out and check it out. You should, because Oracle, as we know, is extremely important infrastructure for a blockchain in general. Signum is a fork of Teller over on Ethereum. Maybe some of you guys have some experience with that. Maybe you don't. If it's a thing that you don't, hey, there's no time like the present, right? So claim your tokens, go and have a look over there, and jump into their Telegrams and just help those guys out, really, because right now testing is extremely important. If you do decide to become a reporter, basically, if you report on good data or your data is accurate, then you actually can get rewards, right? I think Fast Abdul on a stream a couple of weeks ago I think he said that becoming a reporter on Signum, you could probably make more money than being a validator for PulseChain. So, I mean, so there is money to be made. I know that Stu said it's going to be a multi-stage launch, right? They've got, I think, 3 more phases to go. And they're going to actually have a public sale, which is coming up, right? So in the public sale, you can get all these tokens, and obviously you can just hold those tokens to speculate as the project kicks off and people start using the Oracle, or you can use those to start using them to report, okay? So go and check that out. Check out the video from yesterday. Make sure you share it around to let people know about it, okay? So we can remove that, and I will bring you back to my lovely little screen here. Okay, so in our little corner of the world, I was looking around the last few days, basically on all of our projects, what we have going, what's we have really. I think the first project that we launched is probably a couple of years ago now. Yeah, it's BNB Pot, definitely a couple of years ago. And I told you a few weeks ago, I noticed that the roulette table, the owner of the roulette table, because remember, the roulette tables over on BNB Pot are actually owned by individuals, and it's up to those individuals to put liquidity in so players can play. And basically, if you own that table, you effectively have the house edge on all of these games. So over time, you will actually make a nice bit of money. And one of the tables on there, I will bring it up because it's pretty juicy stuff, actually. I was thoroughly impressed with this, I have to say, because bear in mind now, this works on exactly the same principle as PulsePot, right? So a fee is taken from the winner of every one of the games that gets played. That number is that fee is used to go back and buy BNB pot from the DEX and burning it forever, right? So if we would go to here, this is what's really caught all the attention, right? It's the roulette table. So we'll choose the BNBP roulette table because we can see there is 317,000 BNBP tokens in liquidity on that table for people to play and earn, right? So at the moment, that's according to BNB price, that's $114,000, which is pretty juicy stuff. So that's up for grabs right now. And if we look down here, so we can actually see the gameplay. So from the roulette table, right? So over the last few days, this is literally over the last few days, right? Because since I started talking about it, it's starting to get more and more and more, and we can really see. So there's this, you know, people are playing with not so small numbers in here. You know, it's $100 here, $100 there, $200 here. I think I saw, because obviously this is limited to a number of plays, but I was saying that people were playing with a few $1,000s the other day. So the good thing about that is, yes, there is still a lot of action over there. We like all the action, right? And not only that, right, this owner of this table, because this table has the highest liquidity available for people to play and try and win the money from, is forcing people really to buy BNBP in order to play the game. I think that's really cool. And what we have seen, actually, what we have seen now is that there's been a little uptick in the number of buys on BNB. And I noticed that actually in the Telegram first, because, you know, we have the bot set up in there so we can actually have a look. So I thought that was pretty cool going. Let me see if I can share this tab instead. There we go. So look at that, right? So I've been talking about it now for the last couple of weeks, really. I'm not saying this, I've influenced this at all, but I brought people's attention to it, right? And we can see here that there's actually been quite a lot of nice little buys. See, what we can probably assume is that people are buying to play the game, spend some of their earnings, you know, convert that back in some cases, right? Convert that back into BNB and, you know, do what they want. But we can see here that there's another little ramp up. So I actually think that's pretty encouraging, right? We know that our casino projects, they're going to be rebranded into onchain.bet at a later date. And onchain.bet is, okay, I told you this, and I'll tell you it again. I'll tell you every week, and I'll tell you actually pretty much every time I'm streaming, right? All the casino projects and PulsePredict itself are going to be merged into onchain.bet. Onchain.bet is going to be the casino project that has all of this. Is going to be literally on, you know, multi-chain, right? Because we're on 2 chains right now. But as other deployments come that Jacob is thinking about, I think, remember we spoke about Arbitrum or Radix, or I think I was thinking it might be cool to put one on Base, because Base is kind of like the nuclear on the block chain at the moment. But that would be a decision for, you know, for Jacob and team for on-chain. But you don't have enough BNB, you don't have enough PLSP, and you certainly don't have enough Predict tokens, even though we don't have any out yet. That's just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor, not financial advice, guys. But if you think about the long-term game, which I do, I think about long-term with my investments, my holdings, and the projects that I'm interested in. It's about longevity, right? It's about how long can the project be around? How interesting is the project? Are people going to want to be using it in the future? It's not just like a flash in the pan type project, which none of these projects are, right? We know that. We know, for example, that over on PulsePot, we haven't got the roulette over there yet. We haven't got the video slots on any of them yet. And that's something, you know, that's probably one of the biggest games that we're going to have over in the casinos as we move forward. So as things continue to progress, we're absolutely flying. We're absolutely flying, right? So if we talk about our casino projects, right, we have to talk about PulsePot, because PulsePot is the baby for us, I think. I think it was designed really. Is that screen coming up? Okay, it's coming up slowly. All right, no worries. It was really, you know, we were made for Pulse Chain. You know, the casino projects were made for Pulse Chain. That's what the original sacrifice was for. And now that we're starting to make waves, and now the on-chain is coming, and all of this fun stuff is happening, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is definitely a space to watch, right? And again, as I was saying the other day, we start to see a big uptick in buys and in price, right? I was looking at this today as well, right? So this is the jackpot game. This is the original game, right? It was literally, actually, I think in the beginning, I think the Jacob and team were building. It wasn't even actually going to be a casino. It was going to be this game. That's why it was Pulse Pot, BNB Pot, because this is the jackpot, right? So it was actually just going to be this game. And what this game is, we can see here, is literally players enter their bet into a round. They're betting against other players, right? There's no house in this, in any of our protocols. You know that, right? So players literally enter their money into this pot. After a 3-minute countdown, this animated wheel will spin up, and basically the winner will take all the money that's in the pot minus the fee. The fee that goes back to the protocol to use to buy and burn the token, right? If we look at some of these plays from earlier, I noticed earlier on today, like we can see here, look, this round, $156. There was a few $100s of rounds earlier in the day, and over the last few days as well. I've been having a look at this. So people are still buying and burning effectively. I mean, by playing, they're buying and burning the PLSP token, right? Which is exactly what we want. You know, it's exactly what we want to happen. I mean, look at this. So far, we burnt 4.61% of all the tokens that will ever exist, right? And so far, that is really 46,000 tokens. So 46,000 tokens from the million total that we started with are gone forever. And this is continuously going, right? It's continuing to burn. And I mean, that's what we want. We just, you know, just remember, right? This code is on the blockchain forever. You know, as long as there is blockchain, it's on there. As long as there's appetite for people playing the game, it's just going to continue to buy and burn. And then obviously when we make the change over to on-chain upbet, I'm really looking forward to seeing what the token number is going to be over there, because at this stage we don't know, right? So for right now, if you have any PLSP, just know that they are going out of fashion. They're getting burnt out of fashion. Let's catch up with the chat here. If we got Wookie now. Hey Wookie, thanks very much for dropping in, man. Thanks very much for dropping in. And we have Moondog. Hey Moondog. Moondog's been in a lot of these streams over the last few weeks. So thanks very much. I appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. So we have a member of the syndicate in the house, and we have a member of the gearheads in the house, if we're talking in mafia terms, right? I think I've, over the last, well, I mean, as you know, I've been pretty busy now over the last sort of, I want to say proper busy over the last like 2 weeks with streams, because we've been streaming literally, I think, every couple of days. I try and do a day on, day off, so I can catch up with some other stuff on the side. And yeah, and we have a lot. So I will tell you, actually, let me just get rid of this screen here first. Okay, that was just for me, for my own. Right. So over the last few weeks, so we saw that the Untouchables linked up with the OGs. So Crypto Pride, an influencer over on the BNB side, joined the OGs over on the BNB chain, and they're going to start doing their thing. They're starting to do their thing, right? I will have a look at the actual positions in a minute, but I think that the Untouchables, I mean, they went into the 7th position in like a few days after that alliance was put together. Then they jumped into the 5th position. I think that might have even changed again, right? Actually, I'll have a look. I won't bring the screen up, but let me just have a look, because it's pretty cool stuff. It's pretty cool stuff, considering that, you know, that when I created the family, or when Pride created the family on stream with me, right in the beginning of all this, actually, you know, he came on board. He was carrying on with his other projects for a while, as we started to get closer to launch, right? So he wasn't really out there promoting it and boosting it around. Okay, so I can see here actually that since the alliance has come around, now he's in number 6. He's part of the 6th family. So he was in the 5th, right? He went from the 7th to the 5th, and I can see here it looks like he's been pushed down by, well, it's either the Yakuza or the Illuminati. I think the Illuminati have moved up. The constant changes here, I think, are great. Constant changes. I think are fantastic. There's a lot of stuff happening, right? So that was the OGs over on BNB, right? And then I streamed with Ladybug, right, for Ladybug's Lounge last week, so early last week, and literally she created a character on stream. I thought that was great. She created the character while we're on stream, and then literally within a couple of seconds she had 2 invites, one from the syndicate, one from the OGs. But I know that she was talking to the syndicate before that stream, and then she joined them. Actually, she joined their family on stream. So now over on the BNB side, we can say that the OGs specifically have their own content creator, right? Their own person with a YouTube channel, and the syndicate have their own person with a YouTube channel over on BNB. And then obviously the syndicate have Hex Token Superman, right? What's going on here? Wookie's saying something. What's in? Wookie is PD to keep an eye on you. Keep an eye on me. What am I doing? What am I doing? But hey, I'll tell you what, I'm going to drop some more news in a moment. Right? We'll drop some more news in a moment, and then we'll see what's going on. So yeah, so right now, outside of me, we've got 3 people that are playing the game that are in families that have their own channels. I think that's great, right? And in order to build on that, I can tell you that later on in this week, I will be I think it's on Friday. We're just checking for availability, but if it happens on Friday, it'll happen on Friday, and I will be on stream with another influencer on the BNB side, right? Actually, he does a lot of stuff on a lot of chains. He doesn't really have so much of a pulse chain presence at the moment, but he's quite active on BNB, and he has like 30,000 subs, I think, on his channel, and he pushes content out all the time, and he's a really nice guy too. Okay, so I won't tell you exactly who it is yet, but there is another influencer coming to BNB, and hopefully on stream we will again be setting up a character, talking through the game, and I would like to see another family extend the invitation to him to get him on board, because that will be another influence that we have, right? If that happens, what the ultimate goal for me, what I can see concerning the influencers really, is that we constantly have we constantly have this endless number of streams that can be done, right? You know what I mean? Like Ladybug and Crypto Pride from the Untouchables. Imagine them streaming together, and then imagine Superman streaming with some of them, and then imagine this new guy also coming in and stream with them, and then imagine me stream with them all, right? So literally there can be streams coming all the time to promote Mafia all the time, which is exactly what I want to happen. You know, I want to see streams happening all the time, because more content, more eyes, just get it out there. And also, don't forget, these people that have their own channels, they're bringing their communities to us as well, right? Which is exactly what we want. It's all about getting eyes, and getting lots of eyes in massive loads. And how we can do that is by bringing on all these other influencers into our family, basically into our overall Mafia family. That's really my goal, just to continue getting more and more people interested, because we know, if any of you are out there now, if you have a channel or you have a community over on Discord or whatever it is, on Telegram, if it's a thing that you want to look at Mafia, don't just think about creating a character and joining a family. If you have a decent community behind you, you can also create a family. You can start a family, right? We saw exactly what Pride did. He started a family, and as soon as he started to really engage with it over the last few weeks and started to look at it, he's jumped into a payable position. He's going to be, right now, he's on track to get a payment out of the vault, right? Which is the ultimate goal of every family, really. You know, continue to hold that place, continue to grow your family, grow your family's worth, and by doing all these in-game tasks anyway, you're going to be creating money. But ultimately, getting a family is getting access to the vault, right? Which is kind of what you want. If it's a thing that you just want to create a character and have fun in the game, just, you know, kind of like a rogue player, you can absolutely do that. Remember, there's over 50 ways to get paid in this Mafia game by doing all of these in-game tasks, right? These in-game tasks are these income tasks, some of them are absolute. I mean, you can really, well, especially with the use of the helper bots, you can literally just be sort of printing money, printing money all the time while you're not even around. You just obviously you just have to be careful that you don't, mess up and get killed, basically. What is Moondog saying here? Moondog is saying, I heard that the Gearheads have a best-selling author. Yes, I've heard that too. And a bunch of other weird. Hey, do you know what? Actually, right now, in order to keep everything fair, now look, you all know I'm a neutral party. I'm not in any family. Blah blah blah, all that stuff, right? Which I'm not. I'm really not. I don't have any characters in any family. That is the truth. Right? It would be really cool if the Gearheads then had their own influence as well, right? Because that would be like really the top 3 families in kind of the overall sphere of the game on both chains, and they would all have their own dedicated content creator as well. That would be pretty cool. But I'm not saying anything. You never know. It could be that he just wants to stay on the B&B side, right? And in which case the Gearheads are not there. So that's that. Remember now, this is being streamed simultaneously on YouTube, on X, and on Twitch. If you are watching us on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, right? According to my analytics, it's still hovering. I think it's around 55, between 55 and 58%. It changes week to week. 55 to 58% of the people that watch the YouTube content are not subscribed. So do me a favor and go and subscribe. Right? Subscribe to the channel. Basically, the more we subscribe, the bigger audience we can get it out to, because obviously then you'd just be able to share with your friends, and it would really help me too. Actually, it would really help the channel. I am trying to grow this because I want to get more people. I want to really get as many people as possible over to our little corner of crypto. We know that the appetite for building real DeFi, as DeFi is supposed to be, that Jacob and team have, is something which it's a rare thing in crypto. It's really a rare thing, trying to build projects which have real longevity, try to build projects that really, stay the course. I think we're extremely lucky that we found this, right? I think the community that we have, everybody says, oh, the Hex and Pulse Chain community are the best community in crypto. I kind of believe that, but I think we're just, we're obviously we've proven already we're extremely loyal. This, like Somi's always saying, there's hundreds of content creators out there, and we're doing it even though we're, we've had some mediocre price action for quite a while, right? Some people are still way down, but it's the faith that we have in Pulse Chain in general, and I think that's one of the reasons why Jacob chooses to build over here, right? Because the potential that we have is outstanding, and it's second to none. So if we look at it that way, the community that we have are outstanding, and I think in Pulse Chain, on Pulse Chain, I think our community really are based around all our different little projects. I mean, there's a lot of bickering that goes on, but I mean, this is the Mafia game supposed to be happening. It's supposed to be like that, right? People are ruffling other people's feathers. I see that all the time. Personally, I just, sit back and enjoy the show. Every now and again, some of it will be directed at me, and I don't like that, guys. I really don't, because, I'm doing this because I want to help you guys out, right? Help us all out. I want to pump everybody's bags, including my own, right? So, yeah, just the bickering is going to happen, right? People are going to start getting killed in this Mafia game, because people are, I think it's, as we get closer and closer and closer to launch, we're going to see it, right? Tensions are going to be running high. People have plans. People say that they know what plans they have. There are I think I saw today that in the Telegram, someone was saying they're in one family, and they're saying, oh yeah, but I have alts in all the other families, and I have other senior positions in other families, and I know what you're all doing and all that stuff. But if that's the case, okay, so be it. That's up to the families to manage at the end of the day, right? But at the same time, just be thinking about all the money that you guys can be making, because it's happening, right? It's happening. Tonight is the launch of the exchange, right? The exchange phase, which we were all waiting for, right? Let me open the wiki. We open the wiki here, because the exchange phase is coming. Jacob literally said, I spoke to him, I want to say maybe 2.5 hours ago, and he said it would be within the next sort of 5 hours ish, right? So let me go back to share this screen with you. If I can, just press the wrong button there. Yeah, so the exchange, right? So the exchange is coming, right? So the exchange, remember now, the exchange is the only way to get all your stuff into the game and your stuff out of the game, right? So basically, you're going to, well, I should just read through it. It makes more sense. All values subject to change, right? We know that about Mafia, right? This is a living wiki. Anyone that's watching, this is a live document. It gets updated and changed all the time. Now, any changes that do come up, oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so just get to this quickly, right? So, hey, how you doing, Big Kahuna? Thanks very much for being here. Hex token, any update on the exchange launch? Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Perfect timing, right? So the exchange literally launch is happening in the next few hours now. I spoke to Jacob 2.5 hours ago. He said it'll happen within the next 5 hours. So you never know, might be happening on stream. Hopefully, I mean, I don't know how long we can go for until we run out of stuff to talk about, I suppose. But it is happening, right? It's going to be a phased launch. Remember, I said that on the last stream that I did, right, when I was talking about it. So today we're going to be getting the convert stage, so you convert your in-game cash, the OTC stage, and the key purchase stage, right? So that's happening today, right? In the next phase. So the next stage of the exchange launch is going to be the actual deposits and the withdrawals. Or Jacob actually said earlier that the next stage, it could probably be just the deposit stage, and then the withdrawal stage will be a third part to the exchange. But that shouldn't really bother anyone at this stage. So if you need to deposit assets into the game, you need to go to the exchange office. As part of this phase, liquidity pools for both bullets and health will become available. Right, so that's not obviously happening today. We know that those tokens aren't going live today, but it will be part of this launch. Right. So the exchange is basically a bridge between the outside world and the Mafia game. We know that, and a converter of items inside the Mafia game. Okay, so you can convert your Mafia. So if you put in your Mafia tokens, you exchange them for in-game currency, right? And then obviously when bullets and health come around, for bullets you will get bullets, for health you will get health, and there will be a fee. Of course there will be a fee. All the fees, remember, go to going to the vault. But with bullets and health, I think they're literally just burnt, because obviously they're going to be ever inflating, ever minting tokens, really, aren't they? Right? According to people who have bullet factories and hospitals and stuff like that. So there has to be some way to try and balance the whole thing. So that will just be burnt. So then again, when you're withdrawing from the game, which will come at a later stage, if you would be withdrawing your in-game currency back to Mafia, right? So there's a 20% fee on that. And then obviously the in-game bullets and the health, again, there is a smaller fee. So 15% for bullets and 10% if you want to withdraw your health. There we go. So we see it here, confirmation. All fees will get burned, adding to the deflation mechanics, because obviously these are ever minting tokens. If you need to get out of the game at the start or in the beginning, sorry, in a hurry, then you can literally just buy things from the protocol. You can sell things to the protocol. We know about that as well. That's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, this is just an example. We don't exactly know what these in-game items are going to be worth, or what the protocol is going to value them at in order to cash you out. So bear in mind that this will absolutely change. But people saying that a level 10 franc is worth 1.6 million in-game currency, for me, that seems pretty low. Mundo just said, missed the past 5 minutes. We'll circle back later. Absolutely no problem at all. No problem at all, man. Thanks for popping in. Thanks for popping in. Yeah, so with the exchange, you can absolutely, put yourself in, out. Right now, you can convert. So one thing I would say is when this actually goes live, if you have a bunch of in-game currency, that you're sitting on, maybe you open a bunch of crates and you have it just sitting there and you don't know what to do with it, use the convert and stick it into the game, right? Stick it into the game. And don't forget, with this, there are actually, there are benefits for There are benefits from taking this action and putting it in early, right? Here we go. MVS Crypt says, morning gang. Morning? Great stream. Thanks very much. Morning, where are you? Let us know where you are. Morning. For me, it is midnight midnight. Yeah, so for tonight, so it's going to be the convert, the OTC, right? The OTC, which we discussed on the commission meeting, the Don's meeting, the commission meeting on, I think it was on Friday, wasn't it? Last Friday. There's so many streams, I'm losing track of which days they are. But yeah, I think Bob and Kool-Aid were talking about actually quite in depth. It makes a lot of sense. That was actually really good too. So if you are here and you want to be part of a replay gang, just literally go back and look over the last week or two on the streams that I've done. A lot of really good content shared on all of them. I spent about 9 hours today clipping a bunch of videos. There's so much clipping content. I know that they haven't been around for about a month. It was really because I told you I wanted to see what the analytics were on the channel. I really want to see what gets the most views, what gets the most impressions, right? And after like 1 month of really looking at all those numbers, yes, the clip videos they help a lot, right? So as of tomorrow, you will see actually tomorrow. We'll start to be doing it. They'll start to come out. There'll be 2 per day. Like I usually put 2 clips out per day. It'll be just clips of all the lives that I've done so far. Like I said, there are other videos which I've done for some of the different projects like PUSD, Algo, the stablecoin, projects like that. But these streams now, we're starting to pick up speed and we're starting to really go through quite a lot in every week. So there's a lot of content going around. And there's no point in me just dumping like 5 videos a day on the channel. It doesn't really make sense, but doing, a live day on, 1 day off, 1 day on, 1 day off, and then having these clips of the streams, 2 per day, I think that's absolutely more than enough. Absolutely more than enough. What else I got here? I've got a bunch of notes on pad and I've got a bunch of notes on the laptop. Yeah. So really, as soon as this converter goes live, start checking it out, start testing it out and putting in. And don't forget also there's going to be like a volume bonus for putting all this cash into. So if you're literally throughout your with your characters, whatever, and you're sitting on a bunch of this in-game currency, stick it onto the game in volume and you will get bonuses. You get big lumps of change. Chunks of change. I like it. So that should be going literally in the next couple of hours, man. I think that's great, right? So that's another stage. And we know based on that then that the map update will be coming as well soon. My God, the map. The map is the one we've all been waiting for, right? So let's get the exchange phase out of the way, and then the map will be here. And when maps comes, you're all going to be having a really cool time, a really cool time. What else? There were another couple of updates actually for Mafia. What were we saying? That's about the time when Wookie does his best work. There was an update to land. Now this is, we're getting to the good stuff actually. Actually, no, the good stuff is really the exchange. But if we look at, there was an update on land tiles. Okay, yes, the update on land tiles, right? So land tiles, we know that's going to be happening soon. And if where was this? Actually, we'll just read through. We'll read through the whole thing. But there was something that I specifically wanted to point out. I'll get to it in a sec. So for land tiles, so don't miss out on claiming your piece of Mafia, basically. So the list of available land tiles. So we have a user tile, which is basically just one of the guys around. So then we have look at an infrastructure tile, your environment tile, business tile, and then the raid spot tile. Right, the raid spots we discussed on the commission stream the other night, because one thing I think about the raid spots, I think it's really cool because it allows different players, you might be from different families, right? It allows different players to join up and actually do a heist against the protocol itself together, right? I think long term that can be pretty interesting, because we know we're always talking about the social aspects of this, and you know, it would be quite easy if you were in one family just to say, that's it, I'm in this one family, I'm not going, you know, I'm not even talking to some of these other guys, I'm just going to continue to do what my family does. But we know that in the telegrams everyone is kind of chatting. But if it was a thing that this these raid spots started to become pretty popular, it really makes sense. It really makes sense that different people from different families would be working together for a common goal, right? Which would be obviously to take on the protocol. I think that in itself is pretty interesting too. Right? Yeah. So we know that all cities have 1,500 tiles. Okay, here we go. That's what I wanted to say. Right. So how do you claim a land tile? Right. So in order to claim a land tile, it says you select what city you would like to claim land in. I don't think people realize the gravity of that yet. Because literally you can claim land. You know, people are going to be trying to buy up land. I would say families will probably be trying to buy up land, number one, in their own city, right? So they control more of their own city. But there will be other families which will be competing for that land if they think that they have a chance of taking over that city. Superman, you were on stream with us the other night. That was something which we kind of speculated about. But yeah, look, we can see now. So you select what city you're in, right? Then you spend 1K on opening that land crate, right? And similar to what we have in the marketplace at the moment. So there will be like 2 picks from opening a crate. So the first RNG will decide which one of the 1,000 spots that you're going to get, right, in that city. And then the second RNG will decide what development stage you start at. Okay, so that's obviously like the, you know, getting the $10 million in-game cash, we're getting the $500,000 car, you know. So I think that's actually really cool. So if you think about it, and it actually says it here. So if you're actually one of the very lucky players, like to get one of the really high value items, you might get, so it says here, look, very lucky users might get a hotel on map update on day 1. So this is kind of like the new business items that we were, you know, going after, which we know Pulse have already gone. I think that's fantastic, because it says here, look, so you're very lucky users might get a hotel on the map update day 1 and immediately start earning you that inflation straight away. There's so many ways to get paid in this game, and it's really starting to become real now. It's become really real. Right. It says that using keys, you can claim land tiles. Yeah, we know. The game will randomly select one of the available land tiles. Just like crates, you can either get a very rare and valuable land tile, or you can get something less desirable. That doesn't really matter. There are many factors that impact the worth of each tile: zones, variants, connections, and so on. All user-owned tiles can be upgraded and built upon. All user-owned tiles can be transferred to other users or listed on the marketplace. So literally, this is like the next evolution, the next mad wave, I think, of the marketplace, and therefore the vault. Yeah, and so the map consists of 1,000 uniquely designed 1920 style city elements. Yeah, we've seen it. I think Superman posted this but a few times. But look at that. I think this is great, right? When this map comes out, it's going to be so big. If you think about it, the fact that you can zoom down to like pretty much street level, and you can zoom all the way out, or like a big overall, it's going to be huge. This Superman is fond of saying this is like a metaverse now. It's becoming a bit of a metaverse, which it is. And I think that in itself, if you're talking to anybody about the Mafia game and you know you're trying to explain what kind of thing it is, absolutely use the word metaverse, because everyone kind of knows what a metaverse is at this stage. Okay, so that was one update. That look, it says last updated 1 hour ago, and then the next one was buildings. That was the other update from the wiki for today. So when you own a land tile, it's about time you get started to build on it. Right, so there's a list of upgradable options for a user-owned land tile. You can only upgrade to the next level after delay time has passed. So the same way with a lot of the other actions in the game, there's going to be like a cooldown period before you can continue. It's not possible to jump between upgrade levels. So the same as ranking up your characters. So you can rank up your characters by doing various heists. You know, as you start to rank up your character and you get to higher levels, then different kind of heists and smuggling items, you know, you can do. Obviously, if you're a nobody, you can't just immediately go and walk into a bank and rob a bank, right? So you have to be at a certain level to do that. And obviously then the rewards for these higher level in-game tasks get better and better. So it's going to be very, very similar to the lands, right? So it says it's not possible to jump up between levels. All levels have to be passed to reach the final development stage. Okay, so the ultimate goal with these land tiles really is to become the city developer. You know, you become this massive industrialist, and I think in every city there's only one, right? So there's one top spot. So maybe you would like to think that you have the mafia families and their business, but then you have, I mean, what kind of seems to be like legitimate style business, which is ranking up, you know, owning these land tiles and developing on these land tiles, right? And then we can see if there's going to be any drama between, maybe families want that area. If you're building up in a family area, maybe they might try to extort you for protection money. All of these things I love to speculate about this game. I think it's fantastic. Okay, so we can see here there's if you have just a plain land tile, right, development stage, so there's nothing there at all. If you want to build a shed on your land, right, so it's going to cost you 250,000 in-game currency. It gives you defensive power of 7, or I think you have to have a defensive power of 7. And between doing that, so this is basically like a heist, right, an upgrade. So between doing that and doing that again, it's 24-hour cooldown, and you have to have a minimum of 10,000 mafia. I'm assuming staked in the bank. It will be staked in the bank. So once you go to the next level, then is a house. So you literally build a house on that land. 1 million in-game currency. Again, 24-hour cool period and 25,000 mafia. To do a villa is 2.5 million. 48 hours, right? So we've got a few 48 hours here. And you 50,000. Then an apartment block. Then a mansion. Then an office building. Office building, you have to have 10 million in-game currency. And wow, defensive power 68. See, the defensive power really jumps up, and then it has a 72-hour cooldown period. The mafia number doesn't actually change that much, like 1 to 250 to 500. It's not really a lot of mafia, so that's pretty cool, I suppose. And then a large hotel. So to build a large hotel, you have to have 12.5 million, 100 defensive points. Again, 72-hour cooldown. Right. So 72-hour cooldown. That doesn't really seem like. I mean, obviously, if people are after you, it might be a lot. Okay, let's get to the important stuff. Oh, and obviously to build a family HQ, but you know all that. All you family guys, you know, all you dons, you know about that anyway. So important, all upgrade prices are subject to change. Okay. Note, upgrading a hotel to a family HQ is only available at full game launch. Yep, see that's fine. Okay. Defensive power. Let's get into this then. So what is defensive power? Defensive power is the amount of defensive power added to your character by owning that tile and its developments. Okay, so it by having this house and stuff, it adds to your defensive. Okay, perfect. Attacking someone in this, into developments. Attacking someone in the city where they have an immense defensive power through assets is a tough task. Gangsters can't be at home at all times. You might want to plan your attack when your enemy is traveling or out of town. Right now, keep that in mind. Look, you're going to have to really follow these people around, right? So if you have detective agencies, I think with this little update plan here, I think if you have a detective agency, I think it's worth a little bit more than it was yesterday, because you need to find people in order to kill them. Okay, mafia requirement. So each building stage requires a certain amount of staked mafia. There we go. So it is staked mafia. To operate, you can think of this as an operating cost. The mafia stake can be ended at any time, and you can reclaim 100% of your mafia from the buildings. All right. That also is pretty important. That's pretty cool in itself. When the building is not in operation, all defensive powers are inactive. So you have to keep it. You have to keep it alive. So you have to keep like people coming into your hotel in order to get your in-game inflation out and keeping it busy, so your defensive powers are active. What is the cost of upgrading? To upgrade your tile, you spend in-game currency. Yeah. This is a one-time deflationary fee that you won't get back. Right. So what is it? So in order to build a large hotel, it's 12.5 million in-game currency dollars, and that will be gone. Okay, so yeah, so it's like Monopoly, right? So you're buying a building, you're buying a hotel, which will earn you yield. So, and again, right, 500,000 mafia. Still, that will probably change, I would say. Okay, can I lose my tiles and buildings? Now, if you're listening, this is really important if you want to be thinking about going down this route. Yes, when you're killed, your tile resets to default, so it pretty much goes back to 0, and then it can be claimed again by someone else. That's cool too, right? So it's an everlasting process, an ever-going process. You have to really stay on top of your game, or else you risk to lose it all, right? And it says this creates a deflationary impact on assets inside the protocol. Yeah. See, now I like this. This is basically saying, okay, you need to really be on top of your game. You need to make sure that you have enough bodyguards and all the rest of it, right? You basically have to think about it like think about every building like its own character. And if you die, everything resets. I think that's actually a pretty cool function. And it says, how do my buildings work together with other assets? Okay, it says that having ownership of tiles in combination with each other and in close proximity to your family HQ will greatly improve your defensive powers. There are multiple booster features that adds extra defense to your tile. Okay, so here we go. So we have a look at this. So it says here, early preview of the map update, testing out infrastructure and the booze warehouse business object. Right, so we can see here, so that's probably a booze. That's probably a, yeah. That's probably a booze warehouse. Yeah, looks like decent factory to me. Okay, so you would literally get that, put a shed on it, put a house on it, put a villa on it, and whatever the other stages were. Yeah, so what was it? Let's go back. So a shed, a house, a villa, an apartment block, a mansion, an office building, and then a hotel, and then obviously a family HQ. So when these land tiles go live, guys, consider them like business items, right? They have to be snapped up. If it's a thing that you're in a family, or maybe families don't necessarily have to do this by themselves, right? I think just a lot of players that some people have been building up their in-game inventories like mad. I've seen it. They've been going absolutely crazy with collecting things. And then again, we have people like escargot who are out there just selling en masse, right? So all of these things like in-game currency, we can see now how important in-game currency is. Let me have a look at the Pulse Marketplace. Share this tab instead. Item filter and cash. Okay, so what did we say? It was 12.5 was the most expensive, but that was for the hotel. So are there any 10s? Right, so we got a couple of 10s up for sale here, right? So Poutine has got a $10 million cash available for 360. All right, so let's have a look at the little chart. Yeah, it's holding that price-ish, right? So we can see here, anyone that's watching this that doesn't know, if you go into the marketplace and you click on an actual individual item, it'll bring you to this page. This page has its total history, right? The whole total history of that item. We can see here that this has been all the various prices and all the various sales that have been done for now. We're looking at the $10 million cash in-game currency, right? So it's really averaging out. I mean, 375. We can see here, look, it has a total market cap of 18K. 22 sales have been completed, and the total supply is 48. Right? Not a lot of people look at items and keep this in mind. Right? This in itself is really important. You can gauge different items on what you speculate their price to be by how many actually exist in the game. If you look at some of the things like the very high level bodyguards, you know, in some cases there's less than 10, you know. So you really have to look at that. Don't get silly with buying things, but really with this chart, you can actually really kind of judge what you should be expecting to pay for these items. But we can see, look, for $375 is the median price. If you scroll down a little bit, we can see that there are 2 lots of 10 million up for sale. It's actually the same buyer we just saw, or same seller, sorry. $360 is what they want. We can see here so the cheapest that we've seen for sale in a while, the cheapest was $249. So $249 was the cheapest, and the most expensive sale was, well, there's a 400 there, 400. I can see the GIF bought for 400. That must have been right at the very beginning. Yeah, so we're hovering around the 350, 370 number there. But look, there's 2 of them for sale. So if it's a thing that you want to really consider ranking up your land tiles, and because obviously ranking up your land, if you own a hotel, people stay in your hotel, they pay you money, right? So you're earning from all of these things, right? So it's really actually important to think about how you could do it. Is it a thing that maybe you just want to go out and get a lot of this land, right? Now, we saw, bring back to the in-game cash, right? We saw that the update on tonight's exchange, one of them will be the converter, right? So you literally, if you put your in-game cash in and convert it and put it actually into the game, then there is a volume bonus. So it makes sense if you are a player that's looking to take advantage of the land tiles, right, and start building on those land tiles. You really need as much in-game cash as you can get, kind of. So take advantage of that, right? It's there for the taking, so you might as well do it. It's kind of really that simple. Let me see. Did I have anything else on my notes down here? I won't look at predict for the betting, but remember, okay, that you can bet. If you're watching this, and this might be your first time watching this, I can see we have a bunch of people that are watching it. I'm assuming a lot of people are watching this over on X. If you're watching it on X, please do me a favor and retweet this around. If you are someone who fancies a little wager on Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris in this election, you can head over to PUSDxALGO. Right, PUSDxALGO is a decentralized betting platform, and right now there is an even money bet. Actually, I think they're exactly the same. I think it's even odds on, it's odds on both of them. Actually, I will share it. Yeah, look at that, right? So we can see so far. We have until the November the 5th when this is going on. We can see that 10 people on each have bet on, actually 10 people on each. And right now it's an even race. It's an even race, right? So really, you guys, I can see you all over X. You're bickering about it. You're talking about it every day. Go over to PUSDxALGO, put a bet on, put your money where your mouth is, and see what happens, right? No, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice, but why not go and have a little tipple, a little bit of fun? Why not? Yeah, so I think the land tiles are going to be something massive for this game. These and the buildings, right? The land tiles and the buildings are going to be huge for this game. I'm actually pretty excited about it myself. Now, if you really think about it, right, if you're not in the family, if you are a rogue player, there are many of us out there. There are many of us out there, and some of these rogue players have pretty deep pockets and pretty big inventories, right? Maybe they have their eyes on this. Maybe it's not just the families, but obviously controlling a city means controlling a city. So if it's a thing that you want to go around, building sheds and working it all the way up to a large hotel, and obviously you start to do that and you're safe, and maybe you have some alliances with some people inside the game, maybe. Okay, question that I haven't thought of yet. Are any of these considered a safe house for any mafia players or any players? I don't think so. Let me just have a quick look here. City zones. No, we know about the zones. So yeah, so there's 4 different zones. We know about that. Building designs and variants. No, there's something else. The HQ size. No, don't need to worry about that. Okay, connectors. Connectors, the most game mechanic influential part of the map update. Make sure you and your members know own the right tiles. Right, so having connected tiles is very powerful. Oh, we spoke about this on the commission meeting the other day. Having connected tiles is very powerful, and at the same time would be your weakness, right? So basically, if you have your headquarters as a family, there are 5 different tiles connected to it, and that's sort of how you grow your influence, spread your influence, right? So it makes, actually, I'll do a stream separately about all this. Yeah, we can drill into that. That's not actually an update, but we can drill into that, right? Because that is that's there now. But yes, listen, go and have a look at land tiles and go and have a look at buildings on the wiki. Remember that the wiki is a fluid document, so it does change, right? It will be changing all the time. I will put this banner up here so you can see. If it's a thing that you're watching this maybe for the first time, or it can just come up on your feed. Mafia is a game where basically you can play, and through a number of in-game tasks, you can actually earn real yields, right? You can see you can actually earn this in-game cash, which you can then use the exchange to bridge out to either BNB or to Pulse, right? Actually, you'll be doing it into Mafia token and then BNB or into Pulse. But by doing certain in-game tasks, I think one of the robberies you can do is you can rob like a hot dog vendor. But robbing a hot dog vendor, you have an orangey chance of winning, being successful. If you're successful, you get cash, right? Another thing that is very important for players to do, so once you create a character, you can join a family. The ultimate goal of a family is to control one of the top 5 positions as a family, because you get the payout from the vault weekly, right? The vault pays out 10% of its value every week to the top 5 families. The number 1 family will get 30%, and then it drops down to 10%. So 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. The families place 6, 7, and 8. There's a conditional 5% payout. That's based on how well the game is doing. If the vault payout week to week is increasing, then places 6, 7, and 8 also get paid. If the vault value is decreasing, on week to week, then the places 6, 7, and 8 do not get paid. Okay, so you need to think about that, take that into consideration. Joining a family, obviously, there's strength in numbers, so it makes sense. But what you can actually do right now, you can create a character for 2,000 Mafia. You can see it down here. Because your 2,000 Mafia to create a character. Over on BNB, that's like 60 cents. On Pulse, it's maybe $1 and change. Create your character, get into the game. You can purchase keys from the in-game marketplace. What you do with the keys, you can use those keys then to open crates. Inside those crates are certain business items. There are things like in-game cash, like we were talking about. There are things like in-game bullets, in-game health. There are a number of shop items. So obviously this is a Mafia game, so guns and bullets are very important. So maybe you get some shop items like guns, or you might get some security like bodyguards, bulletproof vests, or you can actually get some cars for transportation, that sort of thing. Right. So there's a lot to it. This is a very big game. I absolutely recommend spend some time, go through the in-game wiki, which is on the website, right? Go to pulsemafia.io or bnbmafia.io, right? Have a look around there. If there's any questions, join the Telegrams. Telegrams are down there, right? So there we go. Look, join a family, build your inventory, have some fun, and literally you will make some money. We can see now, I know that the top family over on Pulse, I think right now, once the game goes live, they're going to be gearing up to be getting a few $1,000s every week, just as it stands right now. That's at the price of Pulse right now, and that's literally before they've got any of these land tiles and stuff, right? So it's literally everything in the game is designed to make money. Like I say, there's over 50 ways to make money in this game. You can't afford to be sleeping on it, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a guy who likes to talk about cool stuff, right? And I think this is one of the coolest games that is out there, actually, my personal opinion. I would highly recommend that you guys go and check it out. I said earlier, I will be streaming on, it's looking like Friday. I'll be streaming on Friday with a new influencer. Hopefully we can get him into the game and maybe get him signed up with a family. That'll be very interesting. He does have a very good community. He's very active, posts videos all the time. Every couple of days he has videos coming out about stuff. And yeah, and he likes the sound of it. That's what we're doing, right? Guys, if you like what I do, right, I really appreciate it. Thanks very much for listening to my spiel. I really love the projects that we have here. I can't overstate that enough, right? We've got the casino project on BNB and on Pulse, right? They're going to be rebranded to onchain.bet, probably end of this year, early next year. It doesn't really matter at this stage, but that is coming, and when that comes, it's going to make waves. It's going to make waves, right? So if you have any of those tokens, my advice is, I can't really give you advice, but I think that you don't have enough. However many you have, it's not enough. It's not enough. Remember, we don't know how many on-chain tokens are going to be out, right? Are going to be available, but we do know that BNB pot and Pulse pot, 1 million each, and they're deflationary. Actually, so it's not 1 million each anymore, and the numbers are going down and down and down and down, right? Pulse Predict will also be like that. There's over 50 ways to get paid in any of these games. We also have the PUSDxALGO stablecoin that is going to be coming at some stage, right? There's a lot going on. So if you value this content, please like, subscribe, obviously notification bell, share everything that's around over on X. Search hashtag Mafia every day, right? Hashtag Mafia every day. And if you see something, just get it out there. Archie has, you can see actually it's in there as well. If you want to really learn how to be a good player in the game, go to mafia-hq.com. I think that's in the banner. There it is, mafia-hq.com, mafia-hq.com. You go over there. That is literally a walk you through process from beginning to end, how to be a good player in the game, right? So what you need in the game, how can you survive in the game? What's your best chances of survival in the game, your best chances of being a high-ranked player in the game, right? It walks you through the whole process. Archie has started to do an AI-generated podcast for Mafia. He put the first episode out today. It's like a few minutes long, 4 minutes long. I am actually going to upload that onto the channel. I'm going to create a playlist on the channel, which literally has all these, these podcast episodes. I think they're pretty cool too. So along with the long form content like this, along with the clipped content, which is going to be of this, along with the tutorial type videos we are going to have as well on the channel. And now with this playlist too, there is going to be enough content for all of you out there, right? You will have absolutely no reason, no excuse not to be informed, should we say. And outside of all of that, obviously, get into the Telegrams. Telegram is also there, right? PLS Mafia, t.me/PLS Mafia and t.me/BNB Mafia game, right? So get over there. Jump into the chats, talk to people. If it's a thing that you are new to this and you create your character, get over there, introduce yourself, and families will come recruiting you, right? The families are actually really doing active recruitment these days. It's really, really good. You never know, you might find the perfect family for you, right? So that's kind of my advice, really. Get into the game. Look, if you're not in it, you can't win it. Isn't that what they say? You got to be in it to win it, right? I'm going to spend an hour going through this wiki again now, top to bottom, because this game is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, guys. Hey, thanks very much for joining me. We're an hour and 6 minutes. I think that's long enough for this one. Make sure you follow me, right? Make sure you follow me, because that's how you're going to be informed of all the stuff that I have coming. And I have a lot of stuff coming. Okay, there's more streams coming, new people. I'm bringing new people into this game, right? So I want you all to be there to give them a nice, warm, big, lovely welcome. Okay, thanks very much, guys. I really appreciate it. If you appreciate what I do, you can obviously donate to the channel, right? That's what, you know, allows me the time and flexibility to do this. It is actually in the banner here. It is KvltDeFi.pls.fyi. It's one of the post domains. You can donate directly through that. Thanks very much. I'll talk to you later.